wealthy by any means, but I think that having generous parents, loving parents, is a wealth in itself. Hey there, my handsome and pretty little Cobras, and welcome back to the Cobra's Nest. For those of you who are new, my name is Mignon Cobra, and I make videos on money. So today's video is talking about how I saved 100K through working and investing. And I just wanted to share some 5 things that have worked for me in hopes I could help out my Cobra babies. Full disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. What has worked for me may not work for you, but I just think that I've gotten where I am by watching other people be transparent, and I wanted to share that with you guys because you gotta pay it forward. I got where I am because others didn't gatekeep, so I'm not gonna gatekeep either. So without further ado, let's just get into the video. Let's get it, let's go. Woo. Okay, so the first thing that I want to address is acknowledging privilege. Yeah, as I said in my previous, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So I want to give a really big acknowledgement. I know a lot of people are always like I did this all by myself. I wouldn't be here today without the help of both of my parents and Will. They played a massive role in the foundation of my success. Honestly, I wouldn't be where I am today without them. And let's start off with my mom. So my mom watches my videos, so hi mom. Yeah, when I was working at the private school, I stayed with my mom for little to no rent. Most months I didn't pay rent, and then towards the end of my stay with her before I left home, yeah, I would give her about $300 for rent just to kind of help out. And honestly, that helped a lot. I was able to aggressively save. So honestly, I want to give a big thanks to my mom. Another one is my dad. I don't think he watches my videos, but if he does, hi puppy. Yeah, my dad has been very generous with me financially. I'm definitely a daddy's girl. My dad has always taken care of my needs. Any clothes that I needed, he got me. Anytime I needed money, he got me. So again, I want to fully acknowledge that privilege. That being said though, we are not, my family, we are not wealthy by any means, but I think that having generous parents, loving parents, is a wealth in itself. So I definitely want to fully acknowledge that before I move forward, because I don't want to sit here and be like, yeah, it was all me, when that's not really true. I have a really big leg up in life because I've had great parents. And then the third gem of my life is I actually have a fantastic partner. So I've been with Will for 11 years. And so being with your university sweetheart and being in a committed relationship and having somebody believe and support your dreams for decades, or I guess not decades, a decade, has played a massive role in my finances, my state of being, my happiness. He's always cheered on my goals. He's always been very generous with me. He's what the new gen like to call a provider man. So that's so cringe saying that. I think of us as a team, but yes, I've been blessed to have a wonderful husband. And so because of that, I wouldn't be where I am today either without Will's support. So I think 100% I have to give credit where credit is due. Now that I've said all of these things, I don't want to discredit my own hard work, and I'm going to share what I've done in hopes that that may help you foundationally as well, because at the end of the day, I could have been bad with money and no amount of parents and great husband was ever going to save that. Okay, so let's come in at number 2. So this is probably the unsexy truth. It's literally just work and save. I really do think I could just end the video with that. Yeah, I definitely live below my means. When I would work, I would try my best to squirrel away as much as humanly possible without feeling deprived. And I do think that that's kind of the main driver. When you make money, you should keep your money, and that's helped me a lot. I've done my best to, when I'm only human. I've definitely bought myself goodies along the road. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm a saint, and maybe later down the road I'll be more transparent and share numbers. I'm really good at bookkeeping. I keep track of everything and it's all recorded, but this is just a vague video. We're not doing financial audit right now. Baby steps. This video is pretty hardcore in itself. For me anyway. I'm really private about my finances, so to make a video like this is woo woo. But anyway, yeah, what I'm trying to say is when I would make money, I tried my best to put aside a certain amount, just because rainy day funds, and also because I lived through the pandemic and that was not fun. That was the biggest financial strain Will and I had ever experienced. Thank God we had savings, because those were some dark times. Him and I didn't work for a year, and so we were just eating out of savings, and that was rough as hell. So I think because of that, him and I are always on the same page about money. We're always let's be smart with our money. Let's pick the more, reasonable option. I mean, we definitely do have splurges now that some time has gone by, but in the very beginning years, we were frugal as hell. And I've documented on my YouTube channel. You guys can go back and watch my extreme minimalism videos, the initial stages of my minimalism journey. As I've mentioned in so many of my videos, minimalism for me has been a tool. I've been using minimalism as a tool to wealth build, and I think I'm finally in a place where I can share that with you guys, so you guys can kind of see that like there was a reason to the madness. I wasn't just being a minimalist because I was like traumatized. I had financial goals that I wanted Will and I to reach, and so because of that, that's why we've been minimalist as long as we have, and it's worked, and hence why that's why I'm never going to quit minimalism. Like, why would I quit? Like, this is great. So coming in at number 3, so let's talk about some of the more like embarrassing things, more frugal things that I've done that like I actually don't think there's anything wrong with it. Shopping at thrift stores and like buying clothes from Walmart. So yeah, during like 2020, 2021, during the like tight years, Will and I, like honestly, I don't think there's any shame in this. I actually think it's good. Maybe not the Walmart, but I think thrifting is morally and ethically a really good thing. You're buying secondhand things. I have a lot of like Polo Loring clothes that are secondhand from the thrift store that are in some good conditions, some not so much. I have this one that's like wool and it like shrank like crazy, and it's like a men's extra large, and it's like a petite on me. So yeah, some of these clothes have seen better days, but like I wore them with pride. I remember I used to glamorize the old money aesthetic. I was like, this is so old money, like that's so old money. And I don't know, it did the trick. Like it really did the trick, because I really did feel like old money. Like I would look at my clothes being secondhand and being heritage pieces, and then I'd be watching like our wealth grow, like Will and I's wealth grow, and I'm just like, sweet. And that just kept me going. And like I could definitely fall into the stigma and fall into like woe is me, like oh my god, like I'm shopping at the thrift store. But I was like, no, like Will and I really moving towards like a better place, and because of that I was like, yeah, no, honestly I'll still probably continue shopping at the thrift store. You can find so many goodies there. Like you obviously need to dig, but like yeah, those are some of the more unhinged, frugal things that I did. Will and I also bought a lot of our clothes at Walmart in the early stages of wealth building. Was that company George? I had a lot of George clothes. They're not the greatest quality. I'm not going to sit here and lie and tell you like they're fantastic. There's definitely better stuff, but like, did it put clothes on my back? Yes, it did. So I will forever be grateful for that chapter. It wasn't like glamorous and it wasn't fun or exciting or spicy, but like it really did do the trick. Okay, so coming in at number 4. So in terms of like investments and all that good stuff, yeah, pretty much the story is like literally VOO and chill and buying like dividend paying stocks. I definitely have done more wild stuff like my crypto days, but we're not going to talk about that for the sake of this video. Those are things I could later talk about, big mistakes of things that I regret, and crypto is one of them. So we're not going to include crypto in this. I did crypto for 2 years. I've like washed my hands of that. But yeah, what are some strategies or things that I've done? Yeah, I'm just like a regular investor. So for me, it's just like ETFs. I've tried several ETFs. I've done like the VTI, the VOO, some other ones. But now I've just kind of consolidated it because there is some overlap, and it's just like VOO and chill for me. And then I've bought like dividend paying stocks, and there's a whole roster. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your research. But yeah, some of the things that included were like the Canadian banks. What else pays dividend? Like the VO also pays dividend. But yeah, that was pretty much it. And I'm definitely more heavy on the VOO. I used to be heavier on the dividend, but I find that like on a long-term scale, it's not as, I have found for me personally, didn't have as great of a payout. So I definitely switched up my strategy. And like, and I'm always learning. I'm always like reading books, watching videos, listening to podcasts to like learn new things and implement different things. And so because of that, like, it's always still growing. Like what I'm doing today may not be what I'm doing tomorrow, but yeah, that's currently where I'm at and what I've been doing for the past couple years. All right, okay, so in terms of like lifestyle stuff, this is more in terms of like the minimalism lifestyle. A big one is that like Will and I, we try to live below our means, and I think one of that could be like, for example, like a paid off car. So Will's car is paid off. He owns his car outright. He doesn't have car payments, and so because of that, that allows us to have a certain quality of life because we're not making aggressive payments on a car, which is like a depreciating value. So for that, I'm like super grateful. I've even had subscribers be like, how can you be a minimalist and have a nice car? I actually didn't think that our car is nice. My definition of a nice car is like a BMW or Maserati. I think of like our Mazda as like a steady Eddie family type of car. But I mean, yeah, I mean, everything is perspective. So I guess in that sense, yeah, I guess we do have a nice car. A Mazda is, I guess technically it is a nice car. It is a SUV, and it was kind of pricey, to be completely honest. So in that sense, if you buy like a middle of the road nice car, you don't have this constant need to be constantly changing cars and leasing cars. I remember when I was looking into getting a BMW in my more younger, stupider days before I started getting more aggressive with like investing, I was like, I want a BMW. I want a 2-door white BMW with red interior. And some of those cars, I remember the one I was looking at was like $23,000, and I'd have to make car payments on it, and some of that would go to interest. And it's just like, yeah, I guess I dodged some bullets on some of the things that I did not do. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that like I'm super enlightened. Yeah, younger 20-year-old me was not very enlightened. I didn't have as much life experience as I do now. I certainly wouldn't do something like that. If I had to get another car, if we had to get another car, it would probably be another steady Eddie type of car. I think I'm gonna save the BMW Maserati for like my 50s, and I'm having a midlife crisis. That's gonna be the card I'm gonna play. Okay, so the sixth and final thing is living below your means. I think that my financial journey has only been as successful as it has been just because it's like, yeah, I've done my best to like aggressively live below my means. There's been plenty of times, with the exception of my year of abundance, hence why it was an exception. And I don't go on crazy binge sprees at Lululemon and Aritzia. I don't even own like a real Chanel bag. All of my luxury designer stuff, with the exception of the Gabby, and I learned my lesson with the Gabby. It's just, I don't buy those things. I learned my lesson with the YSL Gabby. That bag was so expensive, and honestly, I don't even carry it. I baby it. It's just like, yeah, I realize that like my Coach purse does the trick. And so those type of like life experiences have kind of taught me that like it's just better to live below your means. I try my best to like, obviously I try not to dress like a bum, although there are some times where I'm in my hobo era where I intentionally dress like a bum. But for the most part, like I try to look put together, and that doesn't need to be super expensive. And I've actually learned the hack that if you actually dress like less logomania, less designer, you actually look more put together. And I was like, whoa, what a cheap hack. And so because of that, I try to aim for chic, then I do like elevated, and I'm just like, this is great, because living below your means has been the hack. I'll be completely honest, has been the hack. It was never like a giant windfall of money. It wasn't winning the lottery. It wasn't like, I don't even know, making hundreds of millions of dollars on YouTube. It was none of that. It was literally like eating McDonald's, eating at home, saving our money. Will and I would have like these little money monthly talks. Like at the end of the month, we'll kind of discuss what's worked, what hasn't worked. And we would just like tweak the dial. We'd be like, oh, we've been eating out a lot, dial that down. Or we'd be like, oh yeah, we've been like buying too much clothes, dial that down. And then in other areas, we'd be like, hey, we're doing pretty good in this. Okay, I think we can go on holiday. Or, oh, we've been doing pretty good in this. I think we can buy clothes, or we need to replenish something. I think Will and I have found like that little sweet spot of like, we try to be good with our money and like not cheap and frugal. I think that's the other reason why Will and I have managed to get as far as we have. I don't think that we're cheap. Like maybe we are cheap. But I don't see it that way. Like him and I, we hype each other up, and we're like, yeah, like we're just like good with our money. And I think that framework has made all the difference, because I think that if I thought of it as like we're so cheap, we're so frugal, then I definitely think that maybe we might not have, the lifestyle would have given us the ick, and we would have quit long before we saw any success. So yeah, I hope that you guys could have found this video helpful. I really don't think there was anything in here that wasn't like world shattering. There's no quick rich scheme in any of this. If you feel like supporting me, you can go to my Patreon and donate me $5, or you can go buy my book. That's it. That's all that I ask of you. If you felt like you wanted to do something, or even just leave a comment down below. So yeah, hope you guys could have enjoyed the video, and I will see my Cobra babies in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.